welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Tia and today I'm going to be showing you how to annotate because it is one of the main questions that I get over on my other platforms. So I'm going to show you how I tab, why I tab, what you'll need to start annotating, so on and so forth. So let's get into the video. Okay, so when it comes to annotating, you have two different styles for me anyway. So we have fantasy annotating and romance annotating. As you can see, once I finish annotating, this is usually what my books look like. So I will show you how I annotate each one of them. We'll probably start off with romance, as romance is the easiest. I mean, it's not difficult to annotate, but it's just depending on how many tabs and things that I will need. So for romance, I'm just going to show you a book that I've already annotated, which is Power Play by Chelsea Curto, and I absolutely adored this book. That is why there are so many tabs. So the reason I annotate is because I like to be able to just go back and pick out like scenes that I liked or quotes that I liked or just things that I loved while I was reading the book, and it's just mainly off vibes and stuff like that. With fantasy, it's a completely different story, and I will explain that when I tell you why I annotate fantasy. So I have a key code at the front of all of my books when I annotate. So for, oh, not the gorgeous fan art falling out. When I annotate a romance book, I have 6 tabs, and the reason being is I don't feel like I need any more than 6 tabs to annotate a romance book. And the key code that I use, I'll also put it on the screen for you, is funny/banter, sad/mad, cute, spice and tension, love and quotes. So I mean, they say everything that they need to say for you. So it's just easy. So I choose a different colour for each one. So for example, in this one, I wanted to stay with the cover of the book. So I went for like pinks, purple, and everything that like matches the cover. And the reason being is I just like the aesthetically pleasing look of the tabs when I open the book. So if I wanted to go back through the book and I wanted to find a quote, all I have to do is find purple and then, oh, perfect, I'm on a page where I annotated and doodled a quote. So this is something that I do for quotes. Say, for example, I want to post it on Instagram or something like that. Then I have a cute little bit where I annotated that I can put on a post. So for example, this is just a really cute conversation between the FMC and the MMC, and I thought it was really sweet, so I just wanted to make it nice. And the things that I did for this was I used highlighters and glitter gel pens. And neither of these run through the page, which I love. These are like specific brands that I use and stuff like that, which I will get into later. So that is all the key codes and everything that I use for a romance book. Moving on to fantasy. Okay, so moving on to fantasy, as you can see, I did the same thing, I matched it to the cover. This is Air of Illusion by Madeline Taylor. And because it's fantasy, I have a different key code, just a little bit different. This one has 8 different tabs and of course 8 different colours, so I can just pick out what I need to pick out when I need it. So it's kind of similar to the romance one, there's just a few different ones, so I'll just list everything that I wrote in here. So we have FMC and MMC, funny/mad, loved, shocking. Then we have quotes, world building and important, tension and spice, and romance and cute. So the main changes to this list is the fact that I have world building and important, I have shocking, and I have FMC and MMC. The reason being is sometimes when I'm reading a fantasy book, I feel like there's some things that I need to annotate, but I'm like, I don't know what that would come under. So I always put it under FMC and MMC. I was still trying to master my list for annotating for fantasy, but it's the same concept as the romance. I have a key code at the front of the book, so I know exactly what I'm annotating, where I can find it. So for example, say that the next book doesn't come out for 2 years for a fantasy, at least then I can go back. I don't have to do a complete reread. I can go back, find something that was shocking and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This is why this happened and things like that. Or I can go through and be like, oh, yeah, I loved that quote. I can now use this for a post, for example. So it's just really good and I really enjoy doing it. I find it really fun. And as I said, this one is 8 tabs specifically for fantasy. I don't really do any more than 8. And if there's a book, say for example, Fourth Wing, with Fourth Wing, there's a slight change in the annotating code. For FMC and MMC, I also add dragons because obviously the dragons can talk in Fourth Wing. So, well, not physically talk, but through the mind. So I use that tab for dragons because, to be honest, in Fourth Wing, there is so much stuff that the dragons do that I want to like annotate, so that's that. But that is how I annotate fantasy and romance books. I will now show you everything that I feel like you should get to annotate, or you would need to annotate. So starting off would be, you need tabs. It doesn't matter where you get them from, what colours you want, but specifically for me, I like to have a range of colours. So I have like a organising drawer down here of all different tabs, and I've colour coordinated it. That's just my OCD. But I like to get like a range of different tabs. You can get them from Amazon, you can get them from Shein, you can get them from loads of different places. I mainly get mine off of Amazon or Shein because I can get an array of different colours that I need. For example, say I'm doing a book and it's pink, I have a whole pink tab, but I get a little bit extra and I go through all the different tabs, choose out what matches the cover best. But just getting like a load of tabs is very useful, and I just feel like it's the best way to do it, because some people like to just tab, which is completely fine. I usually do that if I go on holiday, and if I feel I'm going to like the book, then I will just tab. So if you're just tabbing, it's the same thing. So say you see something that you love, you just put the tab in the book, so then you can find it and go back to it when you want to. But yeah, that is just how you tab and how you annotate. Then me, I take it a little bit higher, and this is a bit much, but this is just me. So I have colour coordinated all the highlighters that I would use, and it really just depends. So say for example, if I wanted to choose a book, and for example my current read is Heat of the Everflame, and basically I've just chosen colours that I feel like work with the cover. So when I read the first book, it was for the FMC it was pink, and then for the MMC it was green. And then I always use grey, because grey is like a good colour for like outside characters, so like side characters and just random people in books, because they are important, but they're not of importance of the story at the moment. For example, it's always the main characters. So the non-main characters I use grey for. And then say if the FMC was, say I use pink, then I know the pink highlighter is for her when she's talking or when she's thinking and things like that. And then say for example I use mint green for the for the MMC, sorry, then I know it's for him and that's him talking, it's his quotes and things like that. So the brand of highlighters that I use is Stabilo, is that how you say it? Stabilo? I love these highlighters because they don't really bleed through the page. It's never really happened. It's only happened with one colour, and it's just because it was quite a dark colour, but other than that, those are the main highlighters that I use. And as you can tell, I really like to not be in the case of running out halfway through a book, because that has happened to me before and I will not let it happen again. But those are the main things that I use to annotate. And now if you want to be a little bit extra, I will just show you what is in my pencil case for my current read, which is Heat of the Everflame. Once again, this is a fantasy, so same things that I use to annotate other books, but just different colours depending on the cover. That's just how I do it. So for example, when I annotate, this is everything that I keep in my pencil case. So I keep spare lots of tabs. So these are the tabs that I have for my current read, and as you can see, they match the cover. And this is just how I like to annotate, because I like, oh, sorry guys. This is just how I like to annotate because I like the things to match the cover. So I always keep extra tabs in my pencil case, so if I run out halfway through the book, I can just pick one up and change it onto the other tab. Then I have the highlighters that I will be using for the book. So I have my FMC, my MMC, and just the other characters. And it is always grey for the other characters for me. It can be any colour, but it's always grey for me, because grey, it just goes with all the colours. Then if, say for example, the character isn't talking out loud and it's just their thinking, or it's like the surroundings that they're describing or something like that, I always use these Bic pens. You probably use these at school. They're like the different ones where they have the different colours round. I typically use this one. This one has the light blue, the green, the pink and the purple, because I mainly use these colours. If not, I will just get the regular one, but I will link these for you down below. The same with everything else in the video. Other things that I keep in my highlighter, other things I keep in my pencil case, sorry, is gel pens. And I only keep these in here for when I know I'm going to annotate, say for example, like a quote or something like that I really like, and I'll go back to it maybe after the book or when I'm reading. It really depends. I only really use my like gel pens when I'm reading an malfunctioning. I only really use gel pens when I'm annotating my romances, specifically when I'm reading. But with a fantasy, it's too like high stakes and high action. I will just go back after and I will use my gel pens if I don't feel like doing it. But these are the colours I've chosen out for the book that I'm reading at the minute. I will always do gel pens that match the two highlighters for the main characters and then an extra one. So for example, in this one, the extra one is gold, but I like to use these to do like all my doodles and things like that. And it just makes it look really cute and I love it. But those are all the things that I use to annotate. And if you'd like a in-depth video exactly how I annotate, like me actually writing on the book, let me know. But that is everything that you need to start your annotating journey, and I hope that was of use. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.